Biden has made it no secret that he wants to control the media. And in Joe's perfect world, he gets to decide what's misinformation or not. Biden taking aim at Elon Musk and the X social media platform over that.
What about what Elon Musk has done to Twitter, lowering guardrails against misinformation? Does that contribute to it?
Yeah, it does. Where do people get their news? They go on the internet. They go online. They go, and you have no notion whether it's true or not.
But you don't trash talk the world's richest man and walk away unscathed. Musk's firing back at the president, saying, quote, "The corpse in Weekend at Bernie's literally looks more alive than Biden." That hurt, Jesse.
So information is power. Someone said that.
Yes.
I don't remember who.
Dom DeLuise.
And so he's controlled information for decades. And didn't the New York Times and NBC say they were WMDs in Iraq? I mean, didn't all of these networks say that COVID didn't come from a lab? So his side does not have a monopoly on the truth, and the internet doesn't either. But what the internet does is allow access to information to regular people, just like the Protestant Reformation with the printing press.
Ooh.
All of a sudden, the Catholic Church can't say what's in the Bible because everybody can read the Bible for themselves. So they splintered off and formed their own church. Same thing's happening now. You have the mainstream media is the filter for whatever happens. And we don't need a filter anymore because we can go on and we can read affidavits ourselves. And we can listen to people like Greg on Twitter, who's usually right.
Yes, all the time.
Almost all of the time, except when he's talking about my hair.
Okay, so Katie, Biden says that Musk is to blame for lowering the guardrails, and yet this president makes up outright lies every speech and interview he gives. I mean, that being said, shouldn't we be flagging his statements as well?
Yes. First, I saw on the internet that your hair is real, so I know that that's true.
Thank you.
Yes, just fact checking that real quickly, just to make sure you're going to be okay.
I'm saying it's real. It's just not his own.
Well,
It's a guy that's never done drugs before.
distinction. Yeah, that's true. You cannot underestimate how dangerous this, what they call the censorship industrial complex from the government with private industry actually is. And the Biden administration continues to try to take factual information and bury it. And we don't have enough time to go through the list, but think about all the things that the government censored during the COVID pandemic, about the border, about the war in the past, that has resulted in these huge consequences for the country and for people everywhere. And you have a president who's now continuing to advocate after a court has told him that your agencies are not allowed to talk to big tech because you are censoring Americans and violating their civil liberties through the First Amendment. He wants to continue to do that despite being told no multiple times. And that is why it's so essential that people like Elon Musk are out there with these big platforms and allowing people to disagree and have a debate about information that is published.
Don't you agree, Jessica, that, you know, the public is entitled to hear what people have to say, that the First Amendment is pretty much absolute, except for things like pornography and yelling fire in a crowded theater?
I do, but also these social media companies are private entities, and the First Amendment is about government censorship. And there have been Republican and Democratic administrations that have worked in tandem with these social media companies. And if that is recognized,
but a court has stopped them from doing that. The court has said to the Biden administration, you can't tell private companies what to say and what not to say.
Well, they would argue that they're just they're giving their opinion, they're making recommendations.
They lost.
And it is being evaluated. I still remain uncomfortable, and we've talked about this before, where there is COVID vaccine misinformation. I'll use the Bronny James example again, who's now successfully gone and had surgery to fix what was wrong with him, which was not that he had had the shot. It was that he had a pre-existing condition that affected his heart. And people immediately took that and ran with this was because of the vaccine. Elon Musk has also dismantled the trust and safety mechanism at Twitter. We have seen
Trust and safety.
What? I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sure we all get lots of nasty comments that come at us online. Maybe I get the most from this particular show, I guess, and appearing here. And I have reported people. Sometimes I get up on a Saturday morning. I think, you know what? I would love to get people thrown off Twitter. And so I'll send in, you post it and you say this has misogynistic comments, it has violent comments, it has anti-Semitic comments. And there's a steep increase in saying, oh, no, this is all fine. And I can tell you, it is not fine.
Wait, you wake up on Saturdays and report people on Twitter?
If I'm having a good day.
Go ahead, Greg.
I think it's perfectly fine to complain about the media and social media platforms. That's all I do all day. Trump built his legend on 2 words, fake news. But this is different because there's a readiness to combine agencies and lawfare to back up their desires for censorship. They want to control the spigot. They're suing Elon Musk right now because Musk is uncancelable. He's the world's richest man. He can't be cowed or he can't be bought. He's fulfilling a role that is necessary right now because anybody else would be destroyed. The whole point of this misinformation bureau was to relabel dissent as somehow dangerous. And while I do empathize with you, Jessica, about the stuff that you get and your example of the COVID misinformation, that's just part of the package. You're either going to have free speech or you're not. And you can say that these are private companies, but if you were removed from one of these companies, your career could be destroyed. These are giant companies. There are things that people make their livelihood off of. If you are banned from Twitter, you could disappear. And they'll always say, well, why don't you make your own? Why don't you make your own? Well, good luck. But my point is this, is that this is about targeting people who are different in their views. And the fact is, Elon Musk presents a threat because he's not a liberal. That's it.
But,
All right.
But shouldn't these people not post anti-Semitic things or what?
There's a lot of things
choice?
people shouldn't do.
Yeah.
There's a lot, man.
All the time.
And they
we
shouldn't have
all get that.
What, you get repercussions over speech? What are you going to do? I mean, that's a little scary, Jessica.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.